Eagle Coaches Show. Carson Robinson, Coach Chris Softley here for the last week of the regular season. Not the last week of the season, don't get that mistaken. But the last week of the regular season, the Eagles will be in the playoffs. Not sure what seed yet. That'll all depend on what we do tomorrow night. But first, let's go over last week's muddy, water, messy Friday night game. But you come out and you feel pretty confident about what you did on that Friday night after a long delay to start the game. Had to feel pretty confident about what you saw Friday night from your guys.
Yeah, it's just another opportunity to brag on the boys because it was an immense amount of rain, and we got all ready. We're ready for kickoff, and then lightning strikes. So you ramp everything up, and then you have an hour and a half delay of just the storm sitting on top of us, and we're in their weight room and some tight confines, and it's just not the way you would plan it. And yet, I love that because we talk about control what you can control all the time, and every opportunity is going to be a test. How will we handle it? And the boys were great. We had fun in that time. We passed the time well. I think it helped probably our unity even more.
I agree.
And then I was talking to you even in the break, and I said, look, when we clap our hands and it's 30 minutes till go time, they'll focus up and we'll be ready to roll. And sure enough, they were ready to roll. And our quick warm-up was great, and we started off fast. It was muddy and sloppy, and the boys handled it like a mature football team, and so I'm very impressed by that.
And that's one of those things where you talk about the long delay. I can make you lazy going into the game, but you're right, the energy was there from the get-go. You're sitting there, you're keeping their minds focused, not so much on the game, but on other things where they're running. Their minds are not being dead. They're not laying around being lazy kids in the locker room. It was a fun time to be in the locker room for those of us that got to enjoy it during the lightning delay. But then you get on the field, like you said, you start fast, and it looked good from the get-go. It was hard to throw the football. You complete 3 passes, 2 of those for touchdowns out of the 8 we threw. The first one to Brady Simmons was an absolute dime by Bax Townsend. And that had to make you feel good as far as being able to go to that if we needed to.
Right, and that was the thing, is we needed to be able to communicate that we weren't afraid to throw it in the weather, and needed to make sure that they weren't able just to tee off on us and load the box. And so coming out of the gate, hitting that early, I think it was just a great tone setter for us of we still have all the weapons at our disposal, and we're ready to come out on the attack.
And that was a ball that was thrown into the wind, too. It was a north wind. That ball was thrown to the north. That was a good ball by Bax Townsend if you didn't get to see that one. But then great defensive pressure all night long in their backfield. Played it. We talked about it. You had to play assignment football against a team like that. Early on, they had a couple big ones early in their first drive, and then you stopped it right off of that, made some adjustments, and the defense looked really good on Friday.
Really sharp. Yeah, I'm really proud of our guys. I thought we tackled really well in conditions where you would typically lose footing and be slipping off of people. And so you can tell the focus was there because we had our feet underneath us and great the ability to wrap up and drive our feet on contact. I think we took 3 turnovers away from them, which is great in a situation like this. And really winning still in those same areas that we want to win in the red zone and in the money downs. And we did that. First drive, didn't get the onside kick, they march all the way down, and we get a big stop in the red zone. And again, just affirming that this is what we do. It does not matter the circumstances. We're going to be consistent year in, year out, game in, game out.
And that was a big win on Friday night against a good 7-1 Fort Worth Temple team that was tied up there at the top of the district with Lubbock Christian and Munster. And now this week, Lubbock Christian with that win moves to 5-1 on the season in district play, 7-1 overall. Nope. 8-1 overall, sorry. 9 games. We played 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not good at math.
We just want to go 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0 every week. Now if you go 1-0 this week, you win a district championship. That's the goal. That was the goal coming into the season. I know it's the goal every season. But you have a chance. We talked about it after the Weatherford game. It was we can control what we can control. Control our own destiny now. After Weatherford lost to First Baptist, you control your own destiny, and you get a chance to do that tomorrow night and win a district title for the second year in a row, and that's huge.
Well, it's funny, we talked about we've had 4 district championship type games where either team could have won it. And this really, you could argue, becomes the 5th, because if we win it, we secure it. And we have the ability, everything is in our hands. We have the ability to lose or win the district championship with how we play tomorrow night. And obviously that's what good teams should do, is they should be in controls there in the driver's seat. And so we'll host a Mercy Culture team here that's trying to get their footing. And it'll be senior night, and excited to celebrate our our 8. You know, we count Cole Daniel as our manager.
Yeah.
You know, our guys. We get to celebrate this great class, and then depending on what happens, we may have a bye week, and that will be some kind of uncharted territories. I don't love taking weeks off, but you know what? If we get it, we're going to make it be the greatest thing that's ever happened to Lubbock Christian football. We'll find a way to convince ourselves. We'll take some time off. We'll have some fun. We'll get rested up and healed up, and then give ourselves the best chance to move forward in the second round of playoffs.
Yeah, because if you win Friday night, you get a bye in the first round, the area round, and then you go straight to the regional round, which it kind of stinks because you won't get to host a home playoff game like you would normally as a 1 seed. But you do get that bye, which will help you get healthy. But that's one of those catch-22 things where you feel pretty confident about the way you're playing right now. You'd love to play a week and not have a bye. But it's also a nice thing to have that number 1 seed, get a bye and rest up and see who you're going to play. Get to go watch those 2 teams play maybe, and then get to see them.
And again, it's the same thing we're always talking about is whatever life delivers to you, you have got to have the ability of a get-to, not a got-to mentality, attitude of gratitude. And so if we are able to earn that bye week, it's going to be the best thing ever, and we're gonna enjoy it, and we're gonna use it to our advantage. And then one of the 4 possible opponents that we still have, all of them are playing each other tomorrow night. So we'll learn a little bit more about that after we step off the field here on Friday. But it could be anybody, and you know what? That's the way the season's been all year. Is it could be anybody. Who's going to be the district champion, and now who's going to be the playoff opponents? And so we are content in where we are. Really appreciative of this group of boys, and this staff. The 2022 football season has been special, and we're still in the middle of it. We're still writing the script, and hopefully the best is yet to come.
And so that game Friday night, tomorrow night, Lena Stevens Field, right here at 7 o'clock. Senior night festivities for cross country, band, and football start at 6:30 p.m. right here at Lena Stevens Field. If you can't be there, we'll have it for you on NFHS Network and our MixLR stations. And then on Saturday, playoff volleyball begins. Actually, the second round for the Lubbock Christian Lady Eagles, as Nina Watts' club got a area round win over the Covenant Classical Lady Cavaliers that came here to Lubbock. They will play on Saturday now in the regional final round for another trip to the Final Four on Saturday against Midland Trinity, another common district foe. So come out 1 o'clock at Denver City. Come to Denver City if you can. If you can't, we'll have it for you on NFHS and Eagle Sports Network as well on MixLR. But Coach, the volleyball team, what Coach Nina Watts, we talked about it the last few weeks, they're on a tear. Randy Rosetta texted me last night and said that was 19 wins in a row. I didn't even realize, I don't think they realized that, but 19 wins in a row, that's hard in volleyball. Like, you have to put together 3 good sets to win a volleyball match. That's tough to do, and they've done it in just a phenomenal year so far, and hopefully it keeps going past Saturday.
Right, and it's a talented group. They're extremely talented, but when you put 19 together and you think about the opportunities to slip up and get distracted, and you involve teenagers, you know, it is something to celebrate. But at the end of the day, we want to stop and smell the roses. We want to enjoy the process while we're in it, and yet Saturday is coming, and so we need to make sure we're getting work done. They were up here at 6 a.m. this morning getting their work in. They'll get another practice tomorrow, and then they'll be off to a great facility in Denver City and a great opportunity to punch their ticket for a state tournament.
Yeah, it'll be the second year in a row that Lubbock Christian Volleyball will get to the state tournament. In just 2 years under Nina Watts, they'll look to win their first state title since 2004, but got to take care of business on Saturday first to even have a chance to do that. So that'll be on Saturday, Friday night here, Saturday night in Denver City. Coach, thanks for joining us. Go get them, get a district title, and go to the playoffs.
Let's do this.
Get that free week. Go Eagles.